Hey guys, hi, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. I'm in the crew room, so you'll see lots of yellow. But I want to say happy Vlogmas Day 18. And I got some cards today. I went to my post office box. We flew from Portland to Vegas, and then we're waiting here for 3.5 hours before we fly to Atlanta. But I went to my post office box and there were some cards there. I will tell you, I cry easily. You guys know that. But I was crying between the post office box and Wendy's, where I ate breakfast. And then, because I don't have to start losing weight till January. And then and then back again on the way here to the room. But Patty sent me this card. Look at this little face. I want to eat that kitten. Look at that face. Okay. Thank you, Patty. And then James sent me this card. I love getting cards. Very merry. And he wrote a long, lovely note inside, hinting that I might have helped a little bit before going to training. Right? He works for a different airline, and that he still watches my videos during long layovers. And he said he hopes that doesn't sound creepy. I love your videos and really think of you as a friend. I think you're lovely. Thank you, James. That is just lovely. And this card is from Sean, he's a flight attendant based in Hong Kong. It's a he. He lives in London. And I got this card via airmail, which is very, very something special for me. I mean, when you're domestic, it's nice getting airmail. But thank you for spreading love and kindness in this world. I wish you and the cats a safe and warm Christmas filled with love and joy. A very charming little card. Isn't that sweet? And then I probably shouldn't say this out loud because, there's a certain measure of humility that some people, I'm sure, would like to maintain, but oh well. If you remember a few days ago, I talked about a story where I gave this homeless guy my favorite Navy belt and how hard it is to find a Navy belt. And it was just a comment. I've said it before. It's very strange to me because, I'm used to being nobody, right? And just mildly irritating to many people, talking over people left or right, and then I start this channel and I meet you guys and I say the smallest thing, not as a lead into, hey, I would love something, but Linda, who is a longtime subscriber, clearly heard that story and sent me a Navy belt, which I will wear all the time. It's such a perfect color for a belt, for jeans, slacks. It really is. It can be with, sneakers or a beautiful pair of loafers. But it's just the most thoughtful, generous act. So thank you for that. I appreciate that, Linda. And the cards, I have to tell you, as a flight attendant, the holidays in general can be very lonely. And when you don't have a lot of people in your life to get cards in the mailbox really makes a big, giant difference. And I think you're all so sweet for those gestures. Thank you. So I am going to the quiet room. We have another 2 hours or so. And try and close my eyes for a bit before this flight to, where am I going? Atlanta. So I will see you guys later on, maybe after my nap on the plane or in Atlanta. And I will talk to you later. Bye, guys. See you soon. Hey, guys. Hi. So we just got to Atlanta. We're hiding under this heat lamp, trying to stay warm, waiting for our shuttle. The flight from Vegas to Atlanta was totally a joy. I know you weren't ready for me to say that. It was a total joy. Really, really nice people. At least up in front. Were they good in the back? Yeah. Good. Yeah. The whole plane full of nice people. It was fantastic. Not that planes are full of bad people, but sometimes this trip could be a little harder. It can be a little more trying. But yeah, the only saving it for last, we had 7 wheelchairs coming on board, and we were supposed to have 7 getting off. And if you are on my aircraft, you'll hear an announcement when we first land that says, anybody who requires special assistance, such as a wheelchair, please remain seated until a majority of our guests have deplaned. And that's for everyone's safety. Because if we have to evacuate the aircraft, I can't have a person who's hobbling down the aisle, basically unable to move, stopping, impeding the egress of 100 passengers. So it's for everyone's safety. Plus, those wheelchairs are rarely ever available until most of our guests have deplaned anyway. But tonight, the wheelchair people were all there, including one of their supervisors comes to turn out, and that the supervisor was trying to rush my guests off the aircraft who needed wheelchairs, and she was basically demanding that I had them come out in a very unpleasant fashion. And those of you who think I'm a nice person, I am very grateful for that, for the impression I've given you, and I try to be a nice person, but I was not a nice person in this case. You are not going to put my guests in danger because you're in a hurry. Yeah, so I let them know, she started to suck her teeth at me and shake her head, and I'm like, did you just suck your teeth at me? Yeah, I got like a little mouthy with her, because my guests are not only my livelihood, but they're my friends and family while they're on that plane. So while they were wonderful on the aircraft, the wheelchair people who don't work for us, they work for the airport, were just nightmares. Yeah, so that was the leg from Vegas to Atlanta. I may not finish this vlog until I get to the hotel room, just in case something happens between then and there. So I'll see you at the hotel. All right, so hi, we made it to the Atlanta hotel, and I'm just hanging out in this high back chair that I like so much. Really easy trip today. I mean, that first leg from Portland to Vegas was a dream, super easy. That sit in Vegas would have been just awful, but you guys brightened it up so much with those Christmas cards and that fantastic gift of that belt. That fits me, by the way, right now, and it will still fit me because there's enough holes when I lose weight this spring. Starting January, I'm going to start trying to be more mindful as of January about my weight. The trip from Vegas to Atlanta was, for the most part, really great. Pretty much everyone on that aircraft was really a joy. I met a lot of really wonderful people, especially two women who had never flown our airline before. They just couldn't stop telling me how wonderful I was, which of course I would eat up. The only challenge with this leg, we had one guy who was sitting in a very, very, very back row who was very unhappy that we were talking. Now, really, at no time should there be an entire crew in the very back of the aircraft. Someone should always be up in front, ideally the lead. I was doing a trash run, walking up and down the aisle. And so I walked all the way to the aft, to the back of the aircraft with my little magic trash bag. And I was there maybe, 5-6 minutes. Just, hey, hi, guys, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And nothing too loud. I mean, we're just talking to each other. We're standing right next to each other, so it's not like we're shouting. And this guy in the very, very back row was just irrational and just like went, could you people just keep it down? We're trying to rest here. I'm like, whoa, sir, I do apologize. Unfortunately, this is our workspace right here. I didn't say it like with an attitude, but I did say it's a 4.5-hour flight. We do have to talk to each other. And, I said, I'm so sorry. We'll try to moderate our tone. But this is our workspace. I do have some earplugs if you'd like them. And I could have said that with an attitude. I didn't, because I tried really hard not to. I think it worked. He did fall asleep, but yeah, whatever. And we were being so thoughtful too. I don't know. And those people at the with the wheelchairs at the end of the flight, they just set me off. I can't even tell you how mad I was. Particularly, number one, they demanded I do something that was unsafe. And then second, when I refused to do this, the supervisor of all people sucked her teeth at me and shook her head and that. And I said, did you just shake your head at me? And she started telling me this and that and this. And I finished that real quick. I'm a 50-year-old gay man. I have learned some serious skills in terms of shutting a conversation down. She was in the wrong solidly. And tomorrow when I get home, because I'm not in the mood to do it tonight, I do have to write a safety report. Because that was she was asking us to put us in a very unsafe position, and in one case, one of our guests who really couldn't walk on his own, he should have had an aisle chair. Really, he felt pressured to get up and go outside into a wheelchair, so he got up. But there were like, I don't know, 40 other people behind him. This could have been a real problem if we had to evacuate. I'm beating a dead horse because I think I already told you this a few minutes ago in the last clip. But beyond that, really just an easy day. Long, but easy. No complaints, no real complaints. So tomorrow is going to be a beast of a day. It's a beast of a day. We have to do a Tampa turn from Atlanta, and then we fly to Vegas. It's just going to be a very long day. It's probably about 9 p.m. here, which of course feels like 6 p.m. to my body. And we have to wake up. I have to wake up at probably 3:30, 3:45 in the morning, which again, to my body feels like midnight. You know, it's just, it's so hard. But we have a very long day tomorrow. I do have to write one other report, and that is called an exceptions report. You know, if when I started this trip, I was position B. Now I'm flying lead, and I like to fly lead. I get to talk on the PA a lot, and one of our coworkers on the first flight, the first day, she had a family emergency and she had to leave the pairing. So they sent a young woman from my Vegas base to work they deadheaded her to Portland. It was unfair. They deadheaded her there. They made her sit for 6.5 hours, which is technically legal in a way, but it's cruel. And then she had to fly back to Las Vegas. So this is all after just getting back off a 4-day trip. So it was just unfair. And then when she got off in Vegas, we had a young man come on to replace her, but he's still on probation. So I stepped up into the lead position, and he took over B, and he was very good. He's super sweet. And yeah, so I have to write an exceptions report. Everything I say has to be a long story. I'm so sorry. I have to write an exceptions report so that I get paid for my lead pay for 1 leg today and the 3 legs tomorrow. So that just means a little bit more money in my pocket. Thank you. And that's it. That's really it. So I'm going to hopefully be asleep in the next 40 minutes or so I can get a good night's sleep to face tomorrow. And I will bring you along with me tomorrow, because is tomorrow Vlogmas day 19, I think? Or is it day 20? I think it's day 19. But I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a great night and fly safe.